Well, sir, Mr. Bollinger, your book is called Cancer, Step Outside the Box, and it's a very fascinating read. I got to tell you, I was blown away when I read it. But since writing that book, have you actually encountered any resistance or harassment from the medical industry?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, if you go to my website, cancertruth.net, you can read a couple of the interesting emails that I have received. I've been warned that I'm messing with the wrong industry, that I'm messing with the wrong people, that I better shut up, and on and on. And I don't think it's anything abnormal. I think that most folks that are stepping outside the box and kind of bucking the system, going against the establishment, or have received threats and that kind of thing. And yeah, sure, I've received some threats. I've received some death threats saying, you know, if I don't shut up, they're going to kill me or my family or whatever. But you know what? I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to tell the truth. And those cowards that send those emails can just go back and crawl back under whatever rock they came from.
Wow. Sounds pretty scary. Has your book actually saved any people's lives, Mr. Bollinger?
Well, you know, the information contained in the book has been used by many people to completely reverse their cancer. Yeah, so I wouldn't really credit my book with saving their life. I would more credit the treatments that were contained in the book. But yes, it's really a thrilling thing to get emails from folks that say, hey, I read your book and I did XYZ treatment and now I'm completely cancer-free despite the fact that I was given a terminal diagnosis. As a matter of fact, just earlier today I sent out my latest Cancer Truth newsletter, and it contained 5 or 6 cases of terminal patients that had read the book and implemented one of the treatments contained in that book, and they are now completely cancer-free. So that is one of the most rewarding things for me, is to see the way that the book has helped people and has saved many people's lives. So I'm really thankful for that.
Do you consider that there's some kind of official conspiracy to keep this stuff away from people? And also in that line of conspiracy, do you think that there is some kind of bigger agenda to make sure that cancer does kill a lot of people? I know that's a very big question, and I'm sorry to have to ask you.
No, that's a great question. It's a logical question. When you see the fact that treatments are systematically suppressed, then that is the next logical question. Is there a conspiracy? Well, yeah, to be honest, in one word, yes, there is. There is a conspiracy to keep natural cancer treatment suppressed. It's obvious if you do any kind of research, if you can just open your eyes to what's going on, and you see the hundreds of doctors that have been either thrown in jail or thrown out or kicked out of the United States by the FDA, the FTC, the AMA, the NCS. I mean, if you look at the sheer number of doctors that have been run out of the country for curing cancer, yeah, there's a conspiracy. Absolutely, there is, and it is part of a bigger agenda, and it's an agenda of eugenics, in my opinion. I believe that there is the shadow government, or the global elite, or whoever you want to call, is running things. They have an agenda of eugenics. It's an agenda of death. They think there's too many people right now that are here on Earth, and they want to reduce that population. And this is one of the ways they're doing it, is through suppressing the cures for diseases such as cancer. Yeah, there absolutely is a conspiracy, and this is just one of the examples that you can see it come to fruition, is in the cancer industry, but it's evident in other health realms as well. I mean, you know, come on, if they wanted a cure for cancer, they're out there. But they don't want a cure. What they want is, it's not only about eugenics and about keeping us sick, but it's really about the money stream that they can generate from a person who has a terminal disease. They look at a person who is sick with a terminal disease as a revenue stream for their industry. They don't look at him as a person. They look at him as a revenue stream. Each chemotherapy patient, on average, will generate $500,000 for the Medical Mafia, as I like to call them. $500,000. So it's about suppression of information, it is about eugenics, and it's also about making money off of sick people, which makes me angry.
Well, sir, your website is cancertruth.net. You also have another site that's in conjunction with another researcher. That's exposethemedicalmafia.com. This is a fantastic site, very, very informative. And you're appearing on, I believe, on Rents Radio very soon. So your message is really getting out there. Do you seem to have a lot more feedback recently, and do you seem to be reaching the amount of people you're happy to be reaching?
You know, that's a great question. It's really snowballed over the last 6 months to a year. When I first published the book, nobody had ever heard of me, and you know, it takes a while to get out there. And being a novice really at marketing and that kind of thing, it took a while for me to get out there and to begin doing radio shows, and did a couple TV shows, and now I lecture. I'm traveling back here in the next month or so back to the States to do a lecture at a cancer conference in Pittsburgh. But yeah, now over the last probably 6 to 8 to 12 months, the exposure that I've gotten from the book has really begun to snowball, and so I've gotten some good spots on Jeff Rentz's show, and you know, I'm talking to you here tonight. I've done a couple TV shows out of Los Angeles. Done several other radio shows. So yeah, the word's getting out there, and I think the more people that buy the book and are satisfied with the book and really benefit from the book, the word of mouth does wonders. You know, I get so many emails from people that say, you know, I heard about you from a friend or an uncle or a nephew or a pastor or whatever, and I've bought your book, and so I think the fact that number one, the book is a good product. It's an excellent summary of the best cancer treatments that are out there today, and that coupled with the fact that it's me personally here. When you email, you know, my email address, tybollinger@gmail.com, you're going to get me. And when you ask me a question, you're getting me. You're not getting somebody else that's on a staff. You're getting me to answer. And so I think that has really jettisoned the book into a different category to where it wasn't before. And you know, hey, the sky's the limit. I've sold almost 30,000 copies of this book since I published it. But man, there's 2 billion people in the world that have cancer. I got a long way to go before I'm done with this.
Well, Mr. Bollinger, one final question. Have you ever had anybody that you've come across in your experiences that has reacted very violently and suddenly just switched off and said, no, that's impossible, you're a conspiracy nut, and basically called you all the names under the book? Have you ever had or encountered anybody like that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've encountered many people like that. It's funny because we have all been brainwashed. We have all been exposed to propaganda on the television and the radio and from our doctors, actually, since the time we were born. And so, yeah, I've encountered many people who all of a sudden they just say, this is nuts. You are crazy. You're a conspiracy kook. You're a nut. This is just total hogwash, despite the fact that they can't really refute the statistics. They can't really refute the data. It's almost like a switch goes off in their brain, and they're on overload, and it's almost as if they've been mind controlled, and all of a sudden they just go bam, okay, does not compute. I can't believe this anymore. So yeah, to make one answer to this interview short, yes, I have been contacted by many people who have just gone berserk on me and said that I was a conspiracy nut because of this information, despite the fact that to me, the real conspiracy people are the people that would go in and expose themselves to the big 3 treatments. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, when you look at the success ratio of chemotherapy, the National Institute of Health just published in July of 2009, they just published their most recent statistics on chemotherapy, and the National Institute of Health says that chemotherapy cures 2%. Okay, 2%. That's in the National Institute of Health. So if you think I'm crazy, I tell you, if you go in and you subject yourself to the barbarism that we call chemotherapy, and you let your hair fall out and you puke for weeks and you destroy your God-given immune system that's there to protect you from diseases and to give you natural health, I say you're crazy. Because the National Institute of Health just came out in July and said it works 2% of the time. Okay, so you're the conspiracy kook, not me.
Well, Mr. Bollinger, from your undisclosed location, I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us about this very important subject that is definitely a benefit for humanity. God bless you, sir. Take care.
Thank you very much, Steve. I really enjoyed it, and we'll talk again to you soon. God bless you, too.